What's up, everybody? My name is Colin Smythe, and I'm a 4.5 rated pickleball player from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Now, what I'd like to do for you here is stop sounding like a pretentious ass, and I'm going to narrate this match, and hopefully it can help you get a better understanding of how pickleball is supposed to be played. I'm by no means the end-all expert, but I feel like I'm a fairly good critic, analyst, whatever you want to call it. I've watched a lot of YouTube pickleball videos and seen a lot of different types of players. Also played a lot of pickleball the last 3 years, so do have some credibility. What I'm going to do is I'm going to watch this, kind of pick this randomly. It's Namu and Lucore versus Burnett and Spar, Women's Pro Gold of the Golden State Championships. And it was put on YouTube by MOFIA Pickleball. Hopefully he doesn't get mad that I'm using it. Or hopefully YouTube doesn't get mad. I don't know how this works. But here it is. And I haven't scripted this or anything. I'm just going to... I did try to do it earlier, but I'm using this different program now. So I've seen the first about 10 minutes of it. So I sort of know what to expect. But I'm going to try to break each point down. If it's kind of a standard point or nothing really special happening, I'll just keep playing the video. But if I see something that I want to talk about, I'll pause it and talk about it. So here we go. Let me just mute this. Sound would make it odd. So now I have this lady who's not in the match. It's just a promo. That was not a good backhand. She didn't put any of her body into it. She just kind of punched at it and jumped backwards. Hopefully my voice is not too loud. I do not want to re-record this. Oh, you can see my cursor too. Okay, let's get started. Namu and Lucore on the near court. Namu with the black skirt. Burnett and Spar. Spar's in the red, I think. We got Namu serve. We got return. Not a very good third, and tried to blast it back. Burnett was ready. An exchange there where Lucore might have been expecting something faster and couldn't handle that ball. So the ball goes to Burnett. Burnett with the serve here. Kind of a short serve. Return there by Namu. Short return by Namu. And then a lob from no man's. Almost always a bad idea. Lucore could not punish it. She should have. Unforced there by Lucore. Got served by Burnett. Return by Lucore. Deep return. Good fourth. Was that out? No, they didn't call that out. They call that out? No. Okay. Spar serves. Namu, good return. Spar with a good third. Namu with a good fourth. So we got them both up at the line. A little dink exchange here. Not a good lob there. Not a good lob. Generally don't want to lob right going down the line. The lob itself wasn't good. And we have an unforced there by Lucore. I didn't quite catch that whole point. Well, let's go here. We got Spar. We got good return. We got not a very good third. Keeps them back. And the fifth was not handled by Burnett. So good job there of keeping Burnett back. Serve here by Namu. Now I wanted to talk about this before, so I'm going to pause this. And that was Lucore's fifth shot here. Where's her fifth? I did a much better job of this earlier. Now I'm just crap. That was before. Hold on. Where's her fifth? Okay, third shot, not that great. Spar comes over and Lucor reaches over. There's something I only learned recently. It's called respect the X. And what that means is if you draw an X here, usually the player that is in line with one of the X axes is the one that should hit the ball. So being as this ball is angled like this, it's probably Namu that should be taking this because it's headed sort of towards her comfort zone in here, whereas headed this way, it's kind of headed out of, she has to reach over out of her comfort zone to hit this. Now, she's could be looking to poach, so if it was a high ball, that would be okay because it would be easier to punish a high ball. But it's away from her, it's angled away from her, and it's low. So she takes a stab at it, and this is the fifth shot. So a fifth shot a lot of times is going to be at your ankles. It's going to be low. Your third shot was not quite good enough to get you up to the net, but you've got yourself up to no man's land, and the person is hitting it at your feet. So what I catch myself doing, and a lot of people do, is, well, if it's low, you want to make sure it gets over the net. So you just kind of rifle it back up over the net at one of your opponents, or just rifle it back over the net. Now, this is going to work for your average intermediate players, but any advanced player, that will be they'll be expecting that, and that will go right into their wheelhouse. And the faster you hit the ball at somebody, the faster they can hit it back to you. So that's generally going to be punished, and it's generally a bad idea. You generally want it with your fifth shot at your ankles. You want to try to hit it soft, just like your third shot. So your fifth shot really shouldn't be any different from your third shot. It's a soft shot trying to get into the kitchen and get you up to the kitchen line. So you'll see what she does here is reaches over and rifles it up at Burnett. Now Burnett should be able to punish this, although this is maybe the first time she's seen her do this, so maybe it's a bit of a surprise, and she's not able to fully punish it. Lucor is quick. She's a quick player, so she's ready for the reaction, hits it back, pops it up again to Spar, and Spar is able to punish it back. But you see that punishment started with the poor shot selection by Lucor. So now Lucor is serving. Good serve. Good return by Burnett, a decent third. So now we have a fifth, and basically Lucor just missed her fifth there. She was in the right position. She looked like her swing was pretty good, and that was just an execution error. I have Spar, Namu, Spar with not a very good third, fourth sent back, and they are able to approach up to the net. So we have a dink war now. Cross court, Lucor goes middle. It looks like Burnett suspected the middle, but she was not able to keep the downward angle and put it up enough for Lucor to punish it back into the middle. So I think that was a case where Burnett probably should have punished that better. We have third, and that was just luck by Lucor to get it over to. She did a good punish, but it was lucky that it just hit the net and rolled over. We have Namu, Spar, Namu with a bad third, not quite punished properly. Lucor with a good fifth. We have a good lob there by Burnett because Namu had just extended herself way up into the net. But then there, she tried to lob again, and Namu was back on the kitchen line, and Namu was tall. So that was not quite the greatest shot. The first lob was really good. Got Burnett, good return, good low third. Fifth gets her up, and she pops it up into Lucor. I think that was just Burnett and not being able to handle that ball and popping it up to Namu. We've got Namu, Spar. Okay, this is what I talked about before, and I'll talk about it again. 3 shots you should never miss in pickleball. One of them is your serve. You should never miss your serve. And by never, I mean, okay, 1 out of 100 you could miss. That's okay. Or 1 out of 50. I like to say 1 out of 100. Your return of serve should never miss. Should never go out. 1 out of 50. Another shot that should never go out is the 4th shot. That's the opponent hits their 3rd shot, and all you have to do is either keep them back, or maybe they hit a really good 3rd shot and you're just going to hit it back into the kitchen. They hit a lob, you hit it back. Maybe they hit a drive and you can hit. You should never miss your 4th shot. Maybe 1 out of 30. You should miss your 4th shot. I guess in the order that I told you is the least occurring shot that you should miss. Serve would be 20 push-ups. You miss your serve. You miss a return, that's 10 push-ups. You miss a 4th shot, that's 5 push-ups. So if you find yourself missing those shots in your pickleball game, you got a problem, because those should be very high percentage shots. So Spar owes us 10 push-ups right there. All right, we got Namu, Burnett, short return. Lucour, not a very good 3rd, and there was some confusion there as to who should take that. Now, in that situation, that is Burnett's forehand. So it's likely that Spar wants Burnett to be a little more aggressive and lean over and take that, which I kind of feel she should. She should be looking for that shot. When you're tall and you've got long arms, you want to utilize that reach at the kitchen. So I feel like in that situation, Burnett should have taken that. She's got the reach to take that, and that's just a shot that she should take. So there was some confusion there. Namu, Spar with good return, Lucour with a decent 3rd. 5th is good, getting her up. 7th is good, they're up at the line. Interesting lob there, was not seen. We got an exchange, and that lob was interesting. Caught them by surprise, but shouldn't have a 3rd. That was a good. The reason that was a good 3rd, generally, you don't want to drive your 3rd, but in that situation, the return of serve was short. So that's a situation where your opponent doesn't have as much time to get up to the net, so you're able to drive the ball more because they can't capitalize on you as much because they're not up at the net, so you can get away with a higher drive. So Lucour did a good drive down the middle there and was able to just initiate the victory of the point there. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Talk about this here. This right here is a very bad 3rd. Well, I don't want to say very bad. It's a bad 3rd because it drives right into the wheelhouse. I'm not a fan of, well, 3rd shot drive is okay every once in a while, I think. Unless you're really good at driving the ball, which very few people are. You're really good at driving it and keeping it low. You're going to hit right into people's wheelhouse that are already up at the net. So she hits this right into Burnett's wheelhouse, and Burnett doesn't quite punish it as hard as I think she should. So she just kind of hits it back. So then she gets driven at her again, and she doesn't quite punish it. And then we have a lob here. I think they knew that Burnett was maybe susceptible to lobs. She didn't have a lot of mobility. That's why they're trying to lob her here. a lob and a good punish back to the kitchen, cross court. We have another surprise lob. It was a great lob because it had an angle all the way to the line. Now they're trying to make their way back. Now that shot, she wasn't sure if she could capitalize. She might have been able to capitalize if she came up. She was able to get Lucor to pop it up, but Lucor with good defense. Another lob, and I think Burnett just got tired there. I think on that lob, she might have been able to step over and hit that with her forehand because it was low enough. So I think there was some strategy involved here to lob Burnett. We generally don't want to lob that much in pickleball. Gonna be a long game, folks. All right, Lucor, Burnett, not a very good return. Third popped up, but was not capitalized by Namu. I think she was caught in a spot where, let's take a look at this. Let's see, I wasn't paying enough attention here. What do we got here? We got third. Yeah, the third wasn't that great. So what happened was Namu's third was not that great, and she tried to approach anyways, and her the fourth shot got pushed right into her when she just didn't have the speed to react, so she popped it up to Burnett. So here they just got, man, it's hard to analyze every single point. Okay, so we got this, we got third, not a very good third. So in this situation, Burnett didn't seem to have confidence. There's another thing I talked about before, I'll talk about again, is you really need to have a sense of how good your third shot is, how much you want to approach the net after your third shot. If you feel like it's a good third shot, if you feel like your opponent has hit a good third shot, then you should run that much more faster to the kitchen. If you are unsure about your third, then you should be proceeding with caution to the kitchen. It's like a direct relationship between how good you think the shot is and how fast you're getting up to the kitchen. So in this situation, look at Burnett's third. Burnett's third wasn't that great. So she was cautious. But then Spar's fifth was good. But Burnett was not sure about Spar's fifth. So you really have to be paying attention to your partner's shots and how well they've hit them. Because if she would have followed up Spar's fifth, she could have punished this ball. So we have her third here. She's not that good. Now watch Spar's fifth. Good fifth, but Burnett didn't follow it. So this ball that Namu hit, if she would have followed, she could have punished this. But she has to let it bounce now and hits it out. So she didn't have confidence in her partner's fifth, or she wasn't reacting to her partner's fifth. So you always got to be reading your partner's third and fifth shots, and seventh, ninth, whatever. We have a bad third, punish. They're still able to control the ball and get up. And Burnett just caught there between not knowing whether to advance and possibly punish, and unsure about how well she hit the shot. Got Spar with a turn of bad third by Lucor, but not punished. This is something else that I talked about before. I want you to look at Burnett's form on this backhand punish. It's hard to do a backhand punish. Now, she does get a little bit of wrist flick into it, but in order to really punish a backhand, you have to almost turn your body sideways and think about if you were in handcuffs, right? Somebody had you in handcuffs and you were like Incredible Hulk and you just broke out of the handcuffs. You just broke and both your hands spread apart. That's the way you want to hit the ball. That's a bad example. Look, you just want to, like a spring, like you spring out like your backhand springs out and you're pushing your other hand back to keep the balance and keep the line of force in a straight line. And at the same time, you throw your body forward. You need to be sideways to do this. So the way she hits it is just kind of, she does good arm motion and good wrist flick to snap at it, but I think she could have put a little bit more onto this. I mean, that's just, I don't know. It might be uncomfortable for her to hit it like that, or you never know, like what some people have issues, but I think she could have punished this a little bit more. But a great save there by Lucor to get it back. Now we have a dink. And I think if we watch here, let's watch here. Let's go back. Here's the bad third. Not much of a punish. She just kind of flicks at it. Like when you see a ball like that she hits, the ball, let's look at this ball. Let's look at, so you look here and you might be asking yourself, it's possible here. Now, a lot of these things, I'm just seeing something here. Look at this. It looks like right here, this is a forehand shot, right? It probably would have been better to step to the left and just slap it with the forehand because there's a big hole here, right? So I think in a way, when you get juicy balls like this, if it's not too much to step around to your forehand, I feel like a forehand smash is significantly more powerful than a backhand smash, if you have the time, which I think she did. This is a very juicy ball. I think she could have forehanded it in between them, but she backhands it. Exchange here, and they're able to win the cross court. That lob was not particularly well advised. I think she should have just gone soft back. There's some confusion here as to what's going on. If you can run around to a forehand smash, do it. So not a very good third, a good fifth. And another thing I want to talk about here is on this point here. So we have a shot here which is borderline. Like, was that ball punishable or not? You always have to remember that you can't punish everything. You can't always punish a shot. Like if somebody hits a perfect third, you can't keep them back at the baseline because there's no angle that you can hit that isn't going to get smashed because it's just too perfect. So eventually you have to learn when to just surrender the baseline area or the no man's land area and be like, okay, now I have to hit a dink shot. So you have to keep that in mind. You can't always punish everything. I think she wanted to punish that, but it was questionable whether she could. Different players have different, punishing ranges, of course. Some people are able to kind of do a flick to get that ball over the net. But the better the third shot, the higher the degree of difficulty of the punish. You have to learn to surrender when you need to surrender in pickleball. Like you might want to smash a ball, but it's just too. You're in that position, you're ready to smash it, and then the ball's coming, and then you just realize, look, I can't smash that. I can't keep them back. I can't do what I want to do. And you surrender, and you kind of come back a little bit and just hit like a nice angled kitchen shot. or drop shot or whatever. Core, spar, good serve, not very good third. The drive, and that's what I was talking about before. She reached and sort of tried to poach, and it was a backhand low shot. That's the hardest ball to poach. She tried to poach a backhand low shot. I don't think she respected the X either. Third shot lob. Okay, let's talk about third shot lob. Look at a pro match, at any high-level pro match, and see how many third shot lobs you see. And the answer is you don't see any. It can be good for a surprise of like a 4-0 player, maybe even a 4-5, but I don't think I've ever seen a third shot lob in a pro match, like a high level pro match. Now, not saying that you shouldn't do it, but and maybe it's better in this because they have, you know, a little less mobility, so it's a little better. Maybe there's sun, so the sun is a factor. Maybe it's windy, so you could do it when it's windy or sunny. The sun is in their eyes or whatever. But generally, the third shot, you're going to get more winners with a regular third shot than you will with a third shot lob. You can get a winner with a third shot. If you hit a really good third shot, they can think that they can punish and mess it up. They can reach too far, especially when you hit a third shot, angled shot. It's just a much better winning percentage shot than a third shot lob in general. So a third shot lob failed. Burnett, not a very good third, but a good punish by Namu. Good seventh or whatever that was. And a surprise lob. That was a good lob because it was angled. And it looked like it had some topspin on it. And it was to Burnett's backhand. Returning here by Spar. Bad third by Lucor. She's losing this battle, but she's playing good defense. She's trying to get back. She does get one over the net. Now we have a dink into the dinking war. Cross court. Pop up. And then a fake punish. It was a very interesting shot. Instead of punishing it, she lobbed it. And then I'm not sure why Lucor didn't run back for that. I mean, she was able to catch it. So that was kind of a funny point. What is this? What was this? Okay, you got to be close to the end of this first game here. I think Namu is winning. Got Namu serving to Burnett. Not a very good return, not a very good third, but not punished properly. But Lucor misses her fifth. She did jam Spar pretty good with that shot, but that third should have been punished. So now we have Spar serving. Average return, good third. But again, let's look at this. Let's look at what we were talking about before. Let's look at this. I'm guilty of this. So we have Spar, no confidence in her partner's third. Her partner hit a good third, but look, Spar didn't move anywhere. She didn't move up to the kitchen, right? She didn't start advancing to the kitchen. So I think one of the things this team should work on is advancing to the kitchen faster. So watch what happens if Spar would have advanced to the kitchen on Burnett's third. Punished. That would have been punished. It would have been a backhand punish. In fact, back. Watch the third. Now Burnett. Well, I think Burnett might have been able, Burnett could have followed that a little bit more, but maybe Burnett has limited mobility. Anyways, they should be following their third shots more. Let's see what happened here. We did a cross court, basically a pop-up, cross court pop-up put away by Burnett. They do understand to advance, but they seem to be doing it, in my opinion, a little too cautiously, unless they have mobility problems, and I understand. So we got nice serve. Burnett with a nut. Oh, no, Burnett just missed the third there. That'll happen. Backhand third shot. Not easy. Lucor. That was out. So Lucor owes 10 push-ups right there. You got Burnett with the serve. Namu, third by Spar. Now, let's talk about this. Burnett serve. Here's her third. Look at her third. Look at where her she's going back almost as she hits her third. So she probably needed to be standing farther back so she could have momentum going forward as she hit her third to help her approach the kitchen. After she hits her third, she's unsure of her third. So she stays where she is, but it's actually a good third. So same thing, good fifth, seventh. They get up to the net, and then we have a lob, fail right there. There's a lot of lobbing strategy, I think, on Lucor and Namu. They had some kind of lobbing strategy to lob both of them. Got Namu, return, third shot drive, approach, good poach, but Namu again can be quicker coming up to the net. That would have been an easier smash if she was getting herself closer to the net. Pickleball is not about casually strolling up to the net. It's getting your ass up to the net anytime you can. And here we have some kind of serving error. Another thing I find kind of interesting is, I think if you have confidence in your third, it helps your third. And confidence, by confidence, I mean like if you start approaching after your third, like just feeling like, hey, I'm going to hit my third, this is going to be nice, and I'm just going to, as soon as you hit it, you're getting your momentum moving forward, and you're moving forward, it helps your third. Like if you just have confidence that you're going to be able to go forward and go all the way to the kitchen on your third, it can help your third shot. You just keep that confidence even when you start missing. We got Spar. We got a bad third pop up, not quite punished by Burnett. Up to the kitchen. Another pop up, not punished by either. Good defense. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about this point. Let's talk about this. The pop up right here. So you'll notice her body position is leaning, the way she's hitting the ball, she's got her arms extended out. What you want to do is you want to be sideways to the ball. to some extent. Like her arms are too extended to generate a lot of power on the ball. She needs to move her body so that her body is more compact and aligned into the ball to generate more power. See how much power you can get on your backhand when you just have your arms already extended out or partly extended out. It's going to be all wrist and forehand. You want to get your body involved. You want to try to move your feet if you can, shift your body over and coil if you have the time. You know, it's different if it's a fast shot and you're just sticking your arm out, but if you have the time, coil your body, like shrink your body and then expand out, power, push, backhand into the ball. So I don't think she did not do that here, and it wasn't the fastest punish. That was a good forehand. Let's look at this forehand. Let's look at this forehand by Spar. So here's the kind of mediocre backhand punish. Now let's look at this forehand. Now let's look at the form. Decent forehand. But just got good hands by Namu. Decent overhead with a good angle, and just good defense there to get the ball back by Lucor. So it wasn't terrible. It was just good defense there. Lucor to Burnett. Decent third, decent fourth, good fifth. So we have Kitchen. We have another lob attempt, and the overhead is considered out. That was good because Burnett let Spar take that overhead. It was a decent overhead, just missed. So that's part of their strategy, is lobbing them here. We got Lucor, kind of a short return, a drive by Lucor, a good stab, and then a good punish, but just a good stab, lob, basically lucky shot there. Just lob, turned into a stab, lob, hit the baseline. So that was game one, won by Lucor. Let's fast forward. Look how nice this place is. Nice courts, nice weather, nice trees. California, man. That's the best weather in California. All right, so we got Spar and Burnett serving first. That guy dropped his paddle. That far court, that was a Kitchen. Oh, that was game. Okay. There we go. Let's see if they continue with their lobbing strategy. They're lobbing, seem to be wanting to lob Burnett a lot. Maybe lob both of them. Okay, we got a good return. Good third by Burnett. Just dribbles over the net. There you go. One zero. 1-0-1. Third shot drive, right into the wheelhouse. That's why I'm not really a fan of third shot drive, except for every once in a while, maybe 1 out of 10 third shot drives you can do, because it can get punished hard. So we got a good approach to the net, and Lucor a little too stabby there. Hand's not quite soft enough, can't get up to the net. Pickleball is really about getting up to the net when you're serving. So again, keeping the ball low to LaCour, and she's trying to either to stab at it low and not able to get it over the net. Spar, third shot lob. What did I say about third shot lob? But they managed to get it over. Third shot lob, 0 for 2. This match, this series, whatever you want to call it. Third shot lob, 0 for 2. Burnett, serve. Spar, bad third. Punished fairly well by LaCour. I think that another good thing you can do with a punish is you don't always have to hit it hard. You can put a lot of topspin on it. Look like LaCour had some topspin on that. Now we got Namu to spar. LaCour with a good third. Good dinking. Got a dink battle. Dink to Burnett. And a good dink down the line. Good overhead. Good punish. Good lob. You got a no man's land hard shot, generally not recommended, and just good solid pickleball by LaCour, punishing as safely as possible there. Return out by Burnett, so that's 10 push-ups. Now here it just looks like a lot of momentum for Namu and LaCour. They don't. Spar does not seem confident. We got third shot, surprise drive. See, that's a better shot because the return was in this area and had some bounce to it, and you get a much better ability to punish because they have less time to come up to the net. When they hit their return short, they're not quite up to the net yet to where you can have more holes to hit it in, which is what Namu did. Namu also kind of faked like she was going to hit a third, like a soft third, and then whipped it down the middle. So that was a good third shot alteration there. A short return, Namu with a good third, very good third there by Namu. And Burnett looks like you really have to pick up on these things. It's like you have to sense weakness in your opponent. So I think they sense that Burnett, just body language, is not feeling confident. So I think they're going to her more. The return here by Spar, the switch, good stab, but then a bad, just over eager to punish there. Let's see what happened here. So they did something different here. So what they did was they did a little switcheroo here. So he returned it, and this is an interesting play because it puts Burnett's backhand in the middle. But it's just a little confusing play that they did here, which is kind of cool. After she returned it, they decided to switch sides. And that was a good stab because she got her to pop it up, but she was not able to capitalize. She was not able to get a downward angle on this overhead. Oh, wait, she did. My bad. She hit a nice overhead, but it was great defense by Namu to hit it just over the net. And then I think a little bit of frustration here by Burnett still wanting to punish, and good hands by Namu just to be ready and hit it back. All right, Namu serving, return by Burnett, decent punish, decent third, decent good fifth. Burnett with a great lob. She says, take that. You guys are lobbing me, I'm going to lob you. Great lob. But Burnett still looks tired here. Served by Liqueur, spar with a nice return. Namu with a good third. Now we're up to the kitchen. Another lob attempt by Namu. A lob by, so losing. Good cross court, and yet a lob. Good shot back to the kitchen. Nope, pop up. Okay, trying to get back to the kitchen. Popped it up. That was just good pickleball right there. Everybody was kind of doing the shots they were supposed to. And you can see how tired they are. Look at them both leaning over. Maybe it was hot. It was hot that day. Burnett, good third, good poach. Oh, geez. Wow. Wow. Okay. I've never seen this. I have not watched this match before, so I did not. So that was in. I think she tried to get out of the way, and she did, but she ended up falling over. Let's watch that again. That was the highlight of the match there. What do we have here? So we have a good third, and we have what we have here is the fourth. A good third, but then the fourth is generally it's okay shot. Spar hits the fourth down into no man's land, but Liqueur is really waiting to pounce and is able to poach successfully. Let's look at this. Let's look at this third. There's the third. You would see in Liqueur's body language, she was looking to poach, which is good. I think she was in tune with her partner's third, and she was like, okay, my partner hit a decent third. So she starts cutting off the angle and is just ready to poach. She's just ready for anything she can snap at. And because Namu hit a good third, she's like, okay, if I can hit anything I can hit, I'll hit it. Goes down the middle. Boom. She snaps at it and it comes through. That was a good poach. Unfortunately, Burnett is a casualty. Okay, so they do the switcheroo again. That was a great defense. Great defense, but good punishing by Burnett and Spar. Not a very good third, not a very good fifth, and then a reach there by Burnett. I think they're just working. Good shot by Liqueur to spread Burnett to her. Just spread Burnett out there, keeping her in no man's. Turn by Namu, third by Burnett, half decent, fifth, half decent, but a good seventh, but then reaching. I think Burnett is getting a little, when you want to win, you want to come back, you want to try to get some points, and you're reaching for things that are just out of your grasp. Although that was her forehand. She might have been able to let that bounce. All right. Now we got Liqueur, Spar, good return, switcheroo, Burnett. Good dink. We got dink war here. Cross-court dink. And Lucor not able to handle it. She's not able to handle it to her forehand. Return here, Burnett. Good punish by Spar, but great defense by Namu. Great lob by Namu. And then she hits it out. So that's just bad execution. Played good up to that point. Spar. Turn. Good third. A lob from no man's. And a poach. Lob from no man's. Good way to lose. We got Burnett. Namu short return. Oh, a little luck there. Hits the net on the third. Burnett. The core. Not a very great third, but not punished, quite punished. Namu. And another hit on the net. Namu can't extend. Burnett, good serve, good return. Third shot drive, which was not bad because she caught her by surprise. And we got the kitchen game, cross-court backhands. And that is called out. We had the cross-court backhand dink war, which is quite common at the high level. Burnett, serve, third from no man's, kept back. And we got the kitchen. We've got a volley lob, midsection volley lob. That's rough. We're not trying to lob. I think Lucor and Namu are a little better at handling lobs. Third shot drive, and two third shot drives. Then Spar not able to get downward angle. Wow, we got great defense by Lucor. Then a lob when she's in no man. Okay, I don't know what to tell you about that point. She lobbed Lucor when Lucor was standing in no man's. And then that was an interesting point. Lucor hit a nice overhead. Timeout. Fast forward. Too much lobbing going on Burnett, and my opinion. Because Namu and Lucor can handle the lobs. All right, third shot, Lucor. We have 5 push-ups for Spar for missing a fourth shot. A decent third shot down the middle by Lucor. Namu with another hard third. Now we're up. Good punish. Good defense by Lucor. And just wears Burnett out there on the kitchen. Burnett really needs to focus on those high balls, get that downward angle, even get the ball to bounce off the ground. It's much harder to hit a ball bouncing off the ground at your feet. And we have another attempted punish by Burnett, but she hits it too high, and Namu is able to rifle it back, and that's the ball game, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this commentary. I hope you learned something. I probably didn't go over everything I wanted to, but I think I talked a little bit more about strategy in the beginning of the match, and I hope to do another one sometime.